Okay, let's call the meeting to order and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Jones.
Here.
Counselor Geisler.
Here.
Counselor Jelly.
Here.
Counselor LeBlanc.
Here.
Mayor Boucher.
Here. Announcements. Do any counselors have announcements they'd like to make this evening? With none, we have no public hearing. Communications are placed on file. Mr. Mulder, could you give us a short synopsis of the presentations?
Yeah, so our community development director, Eric Johnson, just gave an annual report on the activities of the community development department and the planning and zoning commission, and just a number of permits and applications that were processed throughout the year. And then Trish Kriego, our utility and infrastructure director, gave an overview of kind of the history of the stormwater utility and then just some of the accomplishments that we've been able to work through in the last 2 years.
Thank you. And that moves us to public discussion. If anyone would like to address the council, please approach them, start with your name and address. Thank you for coming this evening.
Mayor, councilors, thanks for allowing me to come. Roger Reinert, the mayor in Duluth. I'm just visiting all our near neighbors during my first 100 days, ideally during my first 60. You know, one of the things that I heard a lot over the last year of the campaign for mayor in Duluth was everything in Duluth matters to all of our neighbors, to Proctor, to Hermantown, Superior, Two Harbors, ESCO. And I firmly believe that we can't be a regional center without by separating ourselves from the region to which we are connected. And in the case of Hermantown, share a common border. So one of the things I wanted to do is just have an opportunity to come say hello, introduce myself, share with the councilors, mayor, my intent on us being a good partner, my interest in us being good partners. Mayor will exchange cell phone numbers if there are issues. I would love to know about it. I'm really grateful for the mutual aid agreements that we already have between our communities. And I know that's not just my firefighters and law enforcement going out, but yours also coming in and lending us a hand when we need that. So no agenda tonight other than just to say, to bring that message. And I know often in Duluth, we expect folks to come to us, and thought this was a good opportunity to come and visit you in your house. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I think it was 1 month, just a couple of days ago, so I might not have the answers yet, but I'll do my best. Otherwise, again, just wanted to come say hello.
Any questions from council? I'd like to thank you for reaching out to us and coming. That's something I haven't seen a lot of, and I appreciate
My
it.
pleasure. Also, you have a great city attorney, so.
We've been told that.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
also, thank you.
All
Yep,
right, appreciate it. Thank you.
glad you could come. We won't bore you too bad tonight.
Is there anyone else
Thank you.
online that would like to speak to the council? If so, start with your name and address, please. Is there any public discussion? We will close the public discussion and move to motions. Motion to approve or deny a massage therapist license applications for the following effective February 6th, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, contingent upon complete applications being received, successful background checks and license fees paid in full. Alexia Washington, The Well Company, and Joshua Weston, The Well Company. Is there a motion relating to this?
Move to approve.
Motion by Counselor Geisler. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jones. Any discussion? Mr. Mulder, is there any explanation that's needed here?
These are just continued applications from therapists that are working at the well are coming in.
Any public input? With no public input, we'll move on to a vote. Roll call, please.
Counselor Jones.
Aye.
Counselor Geisler.
Aye.
Counselor Jelly.
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next is the consent agenda. Minutes approval or correction of the January 16th, 2024 City Council continuation minutes and accounts payable approved general city warrants from January 16th, 2024 through January 31st, 2024 in the amount of $439,072.31. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Counselor LeBlanc. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jelly. Roll call, please.
Counselor Jelly.
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc.
Aye.
Counselor Jones.
Aye.
Counselor Geisler.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next is the second reading and vote for City Ordinance 2024-03, an ordinance amending the regulations under Hermantown City Code Chapters 3 and pertaining to the restraint of animals in parks. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Geisler. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jones. Mr. Mulder?
So this is, would require leashes on animals along the trails, in parks, in city parks and in the right of way. If you're walking your dog or cat along the road, you need to have a leash on that, but it does not require leashes on private property.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council?
Just comment for me. Thank you for swiftly moving on this. I asked for it not too long ago, and who says government doesn't move swiftly? So, thank you.
And I appreciate that also. It's worthy of note that an ordinance of this nature was not needed 20 years ago. And we've progressed as a city and become a little more congested. Have the city-owned property where this has become a problem, and this ordinance is an answer to that. Is there any other comments from council? Any public input on this ordinance? Any public input on ordinance 2024-03? Any public input on ordinance amending the regulations for the restraint of animals in parks and on city right of way, or on right of way? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Jones.
Aye.
Counselor Geisler.
Aye.
Counselor Jelly.
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolutions, resolution 2024-16, resolution appointing election judges for the presidential nomination primary election of March 5th, 2024. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Jelly. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder?
So this is the group of election judges that we'll have just for the March 5th presidential primary. We'll come back with additional resolutions appointing judges for the other two elections that we'll have later in the year.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council?
I do need to abstain from this vote as I am on the list.
Thank you. Is there any public input on this resolution? Any public input on resolution 2024-16? Any public input on the appointment of election judges for the presidential nomination primary election of March 5th, 2024? Roll call, please.
Counselor LeBlanc.
Aye.
Counselor Jelly.
Aye.
Counselor Geisler.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next is resolution 2024-17, resolution creating a temporary part-time administrative support position. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Counselor LeBlanc. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jelly. Mr. Mulder?
So we're asking for permission to hire a part-time position for 2024 between 15 and 20 hours a week, primarily to help with the elections. There's a primary thing, but then also just to help with all of the work that's required in terms of some of the finance stuff relative to the additional fire department and some of the payroll changes that we need to make because of that. So we're asking for a temporary part-time position for those duties.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on this resolution? Any public input on resolution 2024-17? Is there any public input on the resolution creating a temporary part-time administrative support position? Roll call, please.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler.
Aye.
One more.
Oh, Mayor Boucher. I'm so sorry. Oh, my gosh.
Resolution 2024-18, resolution approving a request for proposals for human resource consulting services. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Motion by Counselor Geisler. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jones. Mr. Mulder?
So this is an RFP for human resources consultant to help us update a number of policies in terms of personnel policies, but also responding to some of the state mandates that we've had, particularly the one that we're particularly concerned about is related to the public safety duty disability law. And bill that we need to provide employee assistance and training for that will meet the post-certified training objectives for our police and fire.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council?
Just assuming this will be posted on our website.
Yeah, we'll post it on our website. We'll get it out to a number of known vendors. We'll put something in Hermantown Star.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on this resolution? Any public input on resolution 2024-18? Is there any public input on the resolution approving a request for proposals for human resources consulting services? Roll call, please.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2024-19, resolution approving an amendment to the city handbook regarding a water availability policy. Is there a motion?
Okay, I'll move to approve.
Motion by Counselor Geisler. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jones. Mr. Mulder?
So this would create a charge of $2,500 availability fee for those properties that are along a water main that have not been assessed or were not part of an original plat. In the case of the original plat, the original lots would have been borne part of the cost of having that main put in when the development happened. And that was part of the price of the lot. In other cases, when the city did assessments, we assessed certain lots. And if then later a lot was created that wasn't assessed, they should pay at least a portion of the cost of that. And because they have a specific benefit from that asset that the city has. So this is a way to kind of provide a little bit more equity between and fairness to those people that paid for the sewer and water, as part of the assessments. But then now there's somebody that comes after the fact and shouldn't get it just for free.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council?
Would this also apply to like a flag lot split?
So, yeah, so that'd be a situation where it's like, okay, that lot would have been assessed. Now there's a second lot. Then that, because they're getting a benefit from that main, they should pay at least a small portion of the cost of that.
And besides the availability, there is the hookup fee as well.
Yeah, there's hookup fees included, or also.
And the availability goes into the water fund,
Yes,
and that water fund is a enterprise fund for the repair and maintenance of our plant and equipment throughout the city.
that's correct.
So it's fair that we ask these people to pay for the general maintenance of the system that provides them the service.
Right.
It would have to come out of the general levy anyway, so if we didn't have that fund.
If we
correct?
didn't
Right.
have it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it would come out of property taxes.
Yep.
Any other questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on this resolution? Any public input on the resolution approving an amendment to the city handbook regarding a water availability policy? Is there any public input on resolution 2024-19? Roll call, please.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2024-20, resolution authorizing the city of Hermantown to sponsor the active transportation program grant funding request associated with the construction of Hermantown Community Connector Trail from Hermantown Road to Morris Thomas Road and Keene Creek Park to Stebner Road. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Counselor Jelly. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor LeBlanc. Mr. Mulder, would you like Mr. Johnson to go over this one?
Sure.
Eric?
Great, thank you very much. This is a grant request to the state of Minnesota for approximately, it's actually $1 million. This is 2 trail segments that you mentioned. The city estimates that the total cost of this project would be around $2.7 million. That number includes the monies that the city has already utilized in the purchase of a 33-acre piece of property, of which a good portion of this trail system would go. If awarded, this work would be in the 24-25 construction season. We'd be finding out approximately April of this year if we are grant recipients or not.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council?
If we don't get the grant, are we going to use sales tax laws to do that segment of the trail anyway?
We would continue to use the community recreation initiative money, yes.
So that section of trail will be done next year regardless.
That is our plan, that we want to get that complete in 25.
Any other questions or comments? Is there any public input on this resolution? Any public input on a resolution authorizing the city of Hermantown to sponsor an active transportation program grant funding request? Any public input on resolution 2024-20? Roll call, please.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next is resolution 2024-21, resolution creating a bridge replacement priority list and requesting state bridge bonding funding for BR 7724 on the Hermantown Road. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Counselor LeBlanc. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder, would you like our city engineer to address this?
Sure.
David?
Well, thank you, Mayor and Council. So this is a resolution that supporting the use of state bridge bonding money. And we are on the docket to receive just under $900,000 as shown in your packet here. And then there's some local costs associated as well. So this is just something that we need to formalize in order to request the bridge bonding.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Any public input on this resolution? Any public input on resolution 2024-21? Any public input on the resolution creating a bridge replacement priority list and requesting state bridge bonding funding? Roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc,
Aye.
Counselor Jones,
Aye.
Counselor Jelly,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2024-22, resolution approving pay request number 2 for road improvement district number 534 to Yulin Brothers Incorporated in the amount of $184,300.84. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Counselor Jones. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Jelly. Mr. Mulder, should we ask our city engineer to go over this one, or would you?
Sure.
David?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So again, this is pay application number 7 for the Ugsted Road conditioning project. This pay estimate is in the amount of $184,000, and it entails the final quantities for bituminous. There's some mailbox, there's some striping in there, and then we also reduced the retainage from 5% down to 2.5%. So that amount is reflective of those items.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Mr. Balf, is there anything undone that's on a punch list for next year?
There's all the work is completed. So what we typically do on these projects is we'll have a warranty walkthrough, usually in end of June or early July, to look at any deficiencies of work. But all the contractual items are, the contractors met their obligations.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Any public input on this resolution? Is there any public input on resolution 2024-22? Any public input on the resolution approving a pay request for road improvement district number 534 to Yulin Brothers Incorporated? Roll call, please.
Counselor Jones.
Aye.
Counselor Geisler.
Aye.
Counselor Jelly.
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next, we need a motion to close the meeting of the Hermantown City Council pursuant to Minnesota statute section 13D.05 subdivision 3B to consider confidential information related to labor negotiation strategy. Following this closed session, the Hermantown City Council will reconvene in an open session discussion on compensation plan. Do we have a motion?
Move to close the session.
Motion by Counselor LeBlanc, is there a second by Counselor Jones. Roll call. Does roll call.
Counselor Jones.
Aye.
Counselor Geisler.
Aye.
Counselor Jelly.
Aye.
Counselor LeBlanc.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye.